Hey guys, in today's video we have the process of creating this knife. Today we'll see how to create this type of model from scratch following a good modeling flow. If you like the contents, subscribe to the channel, leave your like and comment here what I would like to see in the next videos. So let's go to class. Let's start by creating a plan to add our reference. Set the same value of height and width measurement. In segments, set the value of 1. Drag the reference to the plan. Remember, the download link is in the video description. Let's start with a line, creating a base of the model. Enable rendering the viewport and change to rectangle mode. Here, you adjust the measurements according to the reference. Convert it to editable poly and adjust the vertices following the reference. Add a loop in the center and continue adjusting the base. Once that is done, add an open subdivide modifier and convert it back to editable poly. With Alt 1, add a loop where the pieces are separated. Align the line on the y-axis and adjust the mesh. Let's go to face mode, select the top part and apply a detach to separate this piece. Isolate the bottom part and close the hole using the bridge tool. Now, we'll create a hole at the bottom of the piece. Select the face and transform them into a circle. Adjust the size and then remove the two side edges. Add a new loop and use the connect to connect the vertices. Let's select both objects and increase the scale a little on the y-axis. Once that is done, we can delete the circle. Add an open subdivide again and convert it to editable poly. So, let's create another hole in this part of the piece. At the top, adjust the top so that it matches to the reference. Add a loop with Alt 1. And again, transform the face into a circle and delete the face. Let's add the open subdivide and an edit poly just below. Use the Shift tool to adjust the model so that it matches to the reference better. To create the side cuts, we use the line. Draw the outline following the reference on the both sides. When finished, use the Attach tool to join the lines. With the Fillet tool, we will round off some parts of the line. We'll do the same with the other line. Now, let's adjust the position of the lines and add the thickness to the piece so that it crosses the entire model. Returning to the model, let's add a support loop at the top to keep the edge hard. Now, add the boolean modifier and use the subtract option to create a cut in the piece. We can convert again and use the detach tool to separate the piece. Once that is done, add a symmetry to the base of the model and delete half of the piece. Adjust the normals of the top face because we use the Retopology modifier to recreate our mesh. In the modifier, we'll adjust the value to 500 and select the 3 options below and click on Compute. With the new mesh created, convert it to editable poly and adjust the hole. At the bottom, we remove some loops because they were created in excess. After finished, we can add unsymmetry again to mirror the shape. We'll do the same process on the 2 side details. Remember that adjustment the face normal helps in calculating the Retopology modifier. If you want to know a little more about the modifier's work, I have this video here where I explain exactly how we can use this modifier. The link is in the video description. Returning to the model, let's do the same on the other piece. Once that is done, I will again increase the thickness of the piece with the scale and change the color of the side piece to create a highlight. Returning to the base, we will create these details just by using the shifts with the scale. In this loop, we will add an extrude to create the separation of the pieces. I take the opportunity to apply a chamfer to the edges, keeping them hard. In sides, we will add a chamfer with the highest value, and finally, we will adjust this loop to make the model more rounded. We also fill these 2 holes using the shift and then the scale. Finally, we'll close the holes with the collapse and add on support loops on the edges. On the edges of the details, we'll also add a chamfer to keep the corners firm. Just select all the edges and use the chamfer. To finish this piece, add a symmetry to mirror the shape. Here, we'll adjust this loop so that there are no errors. Add a modifier to soften the shape and an edit poly. Here, we use the Shift tool to make the model closer to the reference. On the side piece, we'll do the same process. Select the edges and add a chamfer to keep the corners hard. Here, we see that the details are a little far from the base. To adjust, I use the Shift tool. In strangers areas, we'll select the edges and bring them closer to the base. Let's do the same on the other side. Now, let's adjust this detail at the top. Close this hole using the cap and fill the shape with the Cuts tool. Add a base chamfer and the Open Subdivide modifier. Again, use the Shift tool. We adjust it so that it matches the reference. Let's do the same process at the base. This time, we'll create a circle to create the cutouts for the piece. Adjust it according to the reference. Add a thickness to the circle. And with the base, add the boolean modifier to create the cut in the piece. Let's delete the interior and also half of the piece. Using the same process, we'll select the face to adjust the normals. Then, we use the Retopology modifier to recreate the mesh. Add a symmetry and convert it to editable poly. Let's close this space with the bridge. In face modes, create a copy of the interior face to create the separate details of the piece. Here, it's very simple. We use the shifts and some extrusions to create this piece. Add some loops to keep in the edge hards and the modifier to soften the shape. Let's do the same at the base of the piece using the chamfer, keeping the edge hard. Now that we have the central piece created, let's create the cord. To do this, let's go to the top view and use a line to create these first parts. Adjust the thickness and then the position of the vertices. Again, use a line to create in the front view following your reference. Convert it to editable poly and use attach to join the lines. In face modes, we will select the face to connect with the bridge. Then use Alt tool to to adjust the distance between the edges, creating a better connection between the parts. Here, we adjust the model a little more and add a chamfer to keeping the edge hard. Add the modifier to smooth the shape and continually match the model to the reference. Remember to adjust the model at different angles to create a nice flow through the entire piece. Here, we'll switch back to the face mode to apply a detach to that face. We use them to create this black detail. We'll delete the face and connect the edges with the bridge. With Alt tool, we adjust the distance between the edges. We remove some, leaving the model very simplified. Here, we return the string and to adjust the position. I will add an edit poly. In the upper panel, we'll change to surface mode. Select the line as the base. Adjust the offset so that it's not too closer to the part. Then, use conform so that the model fits the surface. Finally, add a shell modifier to give thickness to the part. Add an edit poly. We will keep the edge form with the chamfer. And to finish, add the open subdivide modifier. To finish, we have the blade. Let's create it. We use align again. Since the intention is to create the high poly model and then create a low poly mesh, we outline the part and then apply the Retopology modifier to speed up the process. Here, we rounded it with the fillets and the same on the bottom. For this detail, I use the rectangle. Then add an edit spline. Apply a fillet on the edges and then the weld. Adjust the size according to the reference. Once it is done, use attach to join the piece and we convert it to editable poly. Here, I will create the outline of the front part of the blades with the cuts. Let's do this so that the Retopology creates a loop exactly in this part, creating this crease in the piece. Let's do the same near the tip. Here, you already know, we must adjust the groups using the Alt Smooth. Add the Retopology modifier. Let's leave the value at 500 and mark the option below. We can convert and add an edit poly to adjust some parts. Add a shell to give thickness to the piece. Let's go to the face modes and we'll make the front part thinner. Just use the scale and shrink until the tip. We'll adjust some vertices on the top and then on the bottom of the piece. We'll make some more fine adjustments to the piece. To finish, add support loops in the center. In this detail, we'll apply a chamfer. We'll also add a loop on the top and bottom of the object. Finally, the modifier to soften the shape. We'll also add a loop on the blade part. Using the alignments, we'll align the model with the base of the knife. To finish, we'll create the small detail in the center of the holes. The process is very simple. So, I will speed up here. Just create a circle and position in the center of the details. Add a thickness to them and loops on the edge to keeping the edge hard. Use the star to create the interior piece. Here, you align it with the center of the circle so that it is positioned correctly. Fill the mesh with the cuts and add a thickness to the piece. Finally, remember to mirror the detail with the symmetry modifier. Here, you will have the model finished. So that was today's contents. I hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you in the next time. Bye! Subscribe to the channel, it's very important.